Hi everyone, Dimitri here, pornography addiction recovery coach, and in this video I want to talk about a big topic in the realm of pornography addiction, and that is NoFap. Okay, we're going to talk about NoFap. I'm going to address the problems that NoFap has and some of the reasons why NoFap may not be working for you. Okay, I want to say from the get-go, I'm not a supporter of NoFap. There's no judgment on my end if you're following NoFap, if you're trying NoFap, try anything that you want to try for your recovery. However, I think there's some big issues with NoFap, and I'd like to explicit them as I see them today in hope that maybe it informs you on your journey about what are some of the good things that you can do and some of the things that you should not do. All right, and before we start smashing NoFap, I guess, there's two things that I'd like to say, or two qualities that I'd like to address about NoFap. The first one is that it's an intuitive process. Okay, so going cold turkey, which means stopping watching pornography, deciding you're going to stop watching pornography and stopping, is an intuitive process. All right, it's the most natural process, and so of course it is something that we will want to do. So good, NoFap is intuitive. That's good. The second thing is that NoFap is free, okay? It's free of charge to try. To say tomorrow I'm stopping watching pornography and try that is free, at least in terms of money. And we'll see what the cost is in the rest of the video. But in terms of money, it's free. So hey, it's intuitive, it's free. Of course you're going to try it. And the last thing I want to say is that some people have successfully used NoFap to recover from their addiction, okay? So I'm not saying that you have to exclude it completely, but I'm just saying that if you've been using NoFap for millions of years, maybe it's time to try something new. Why? What are the problems with NoFap? Okay, the first problem with NoFap is that going cold turkey is very hard. Okay, it is the hardest thing you can do. You've got these cravings that hit you like a train in the middle of the day, and then with NoFap you're going to come on the rail tracks, seeing that train coming and say, no, I'm going to stop that train. This train of addiction. You're probably not going to stop the train of addiction, okay, out of sheer willpower. So this is the hardest possible way. Problem number two with NoFap is that when you relapse, you lose everything. NoFap is not a progressive thing. NoFap is an all or nothing method. So as long as you hold, things are going well, and you feel like you're making progress, the day when you relapse, you haven't gained anything. If you've been doing NoFap for 30 days, 60 days, the day when you relapse, you've lost 60 days of intense work on yourself, but you actually haven't learned anything. You've just lost all the work that you've done. And there hasn't been a progressive journey where you've been learning about yourself, where you've been learning about the methods, some step that you've acquired. You just go back to step 0, square one, and try this hard journey again. The third problem with NoFap is that it's a method that is designed to fail. Okay? You have to understand addiction. First of all, you can ask yourself, do you think you're addicted to pornography or not? If you're not addicted, maybe try NoFap and maybe it's going to work. If you think you're addicted, NoFap is very, very likely not going to get you out of it, okay? If you're just trying to quit pornography but you're not sure, then there's ways you can know if you're addicted or not. There's a few tests you can try. For example, try not watching pornography for 7 days and see how you go. If you can't stop watching pornography for 7 days, probably there's a good chance that you're addicted. So what we do with addiction, addiction is an unconscious mechanism, okay? Addiction has nothing to do with willpower. So every time you try willpower to overcome your urges and your desire, willpower will do nothing, because the willpower is conscious, it's a conscious process, but the urges are an unconscious process. And in your mind, the unconscious mind is the decision maker. So you can make as many decisions as you want about what you're going to do. The decision has already been made in your unconscious mind that you're going to do this and that. Okay, so what you have to use is methods that address the addiction at the unconscious level. No amount of willpower is going to be able to stop an addiction. If it's a well-entrenched addiction, you're just going to make yourself feel guilty and miserable and say that you're weak and blah, 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 blaming yourself. This guilt doesn't help either. Okay, guilt is part of the addiction cycle in the same way that pleasure is. And so the more you guilt trip yourself, the more you'll feel miserable, the more you'll want to go into, succumb to these urges. You're not making progress. Addiction is unconscious, willpower is conscious. So your willpower counts for 0, not because you're weak, but because by design, this does not work. Okay, this is crucial to understand. What's that? Fifth problem with pornography, NoFap, no PMO. Okay, so NoFap sometimes referred to as no PMO, which means no pornography, masturbation, orgasm. Whoa, hang on. No pornography, masturbation, orgasm. So it's like I'm telling you, well, from today on, you're going to stop eating, but at the same time, you're also going to stop drinking, and you're also going to stop breathing, because you know what? You don't need all these things, and it will make it easier. Like, how is this manageable? You've got to take things progressively so that every time you take a step in your healing, you've got this solid foundation to step into another level. If you try and go for no PMO, all these urges inside you, even the sexual healthy urges that you have inside you, will just drive you crazy because you have 0 outlet. And you cannot live your life with 0 sexual outlet. So you can reduce pornography, you can stop pornography, but please keep masturbating while you're addressing the pornography problem. And once you've addressed the pornography and masturbation has gone out of track, then address the masturbation issue, but keep having sex. And if for some reason the sex is out of control, which means that you're a severe pornography and sex addict, which was the case for me, maybe it's the case for you and you have all my sympathy, but it's maybe not that bad. But then if it is, then once you've successfully dealt with masturbation, then you can go and reduce sex in your life. Okay? But if you just go like from the get-go, exclude all sex altogether, you're gonna drive yourself nuts. Okay? This is not how it's supposed to work. It is normal to have sexual impulses. It's just not healthy when they colonize your mind the whole day. So you gotta take progressive steps into your healing. Start with pornography, reduce or stop pornography in a way that is working, then address the masturbation. But otherwise, if you masturbate away from pornography, go you. That is awesome. If that's your way to mitigate pornography, to crush your pornography addiction or your impulses, that's awesome. Do that for 6 months, a year, and then you can move on into something else. All right, 6th problem about NoFap, the superpowers of NoFap. Okay, when you're in the NoFap groups, there's a lot of bro science that's gonna tell you that, hey, NoFap is gonna give you, it's gonna reduce hair loss. It's gonna make girls more attractive. You're gonna have more testosterone. You're gonna be more performant in bed, whatever. Okay, these things may be true, okay, but there's like this direct shortcut from NoFap to all these superpowers that is not healthy, okay? And I see a lot of questions like, hey, is it true that NoFap creates no hair loss? Well, yes and no. So the thing that NoFap will make that you be abstinent, which will create semen retention, which will change the hormones inside your body, which may create some positive effects, such as being more charismatic, more driven, more attractive to women, more firm, more etc., sexually aroused, things like that, which may reduce hair loss or may not. I have no idea. I'm not an expert in hair loss, but if you do suffer from hair loss, go and see a hair loss specialist. All right, don't do NoFap just for hair loss, or just because you've heard that someone's told you. Okay, try to be critical about the things you read and the things you watch. Even what I'm saying right now should be critically analyzed, so that you can make an informed decision about what you want to do, okay? These big shortcuts, NoFap will make you have a girlfriend. Well, no, because then people don't have a girlfriend when they do NoFap and they wonder what is wrong with them, and there's nothing wrong with them. It's just that maybe they need to be a little bit more charismatic, which is what NoFap will do, or a little bit more affirmative or assertive, which is what NoFap will do, or semen retention, should I say, will do. But also, maybe there's something more. Maybe they need to improve their communication. Maybe they need to go out. Maybe they need to, change the way they have sex. Whatever it is, there's a million reasons why you won't have a girlfriend, and NoFap's are going to fix all of that in one go, okay? So semen retention can be a good thing, can not necessarily be a good thing, but there's no shortcut with NoFap's going to give you a girlfriend. NoFap's going to give you hair, okay? All these claims have to be thoroughly analyzed, to see if they're working in your own framework. All right, 7th problem with NoFap. That's a big thing. This is where I get a little bit upset and a little bit angry. There is the belief that if NoFap didn't work for you the first time, nor the second time, nor the third time, nor the 128th time, you should try 129th time. Okay? If something doesn't work, guys, it doesn't work. Maybe it's working for other people. Maybe it's not working for you. Maybe there's room to make progress, and the more you do NoFap, you get better, and then eventually you move away from pornography. Awesome, that's possible. If you've relapsed, 5 times, 6 times, you're starting to be in the zone where NoFap is not working for you. It doesn't say anything about you. It doesn't even say anything about NoFap. It just says that you and NoFap are not really compatible. You're not really good friends, and you're going to find something else. Maybe you have a deep-rooted addiction. Maybe there's something else going on that you don't know, and you can't just rely on this free, intuitive method that is claiming it's magic. Okay, so there is this belief in NoFap that the NoFap community that, hey, you gotta keep trying, you gotta keep hammering it, you gotta be strong, blah, 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 all this guilt trip and all this false empowerment. And it's well, the wall is a meter thick, but you gotta keep bashing this wall with your head, and then eventually you're gonna break the wall. Now you're gonna break your head, okay? You're not gonna break the wall. You don't know how thick the wall is. Maybe you're gonna break it next time, maybe you're gonna break your head. This wall is too big, all right? If you have too big an addiction or too strong impulses with pornography, whatever, there's something inside you that is creating that. You can't keep trying the same method and again. And then people start to believe that there's something really, really fucked up about them because NoFap is not working for them. And so they keep trying harder and harder, and they're being pushed harder and harder towards this method, but it's not suited for you. That's okay, just accept that. Just move on and try other things. There's other things in the world that NoFap, and I'm really quite upset. And this leads people to depression. This leads people to suicide because people feel hopeless because they're trying this one stream of hacks that they've heard about on the internet and trying them out, and it doesn't work. If it doesn't work, it's that the method is ill-advised. It's not that there's something wrong with you. Okay, just know that. And the apparently 8th thing about NoFap, or I missed my counting, is that you're not learning anything about yourself with NoFap. Okay, you're just applying this hardcore method, and you're hoping it's gonna work, and you go head first and being tough. If you're suffering from an addiction, or if it's really difficult for you to stop watching pornography, there's probably some wounds that are happening there. There's something inside you that is creating that. Maybe some hurt from the past, maybe some conditioning that you've gone through, maybe some difficult memories, maybe some hurt. There's something that's happened that is creating that, and you're looking for comfort and soothing in pornography because there's something missing in your life. Either a purpose, maybe some the suffering in your life, maybe you can't find happiness, and your unconscious mind, again, is the decision maker. This is not your fault. You can stop judging yourself. You've got nothing to do with that. Your unconscious mind is just driving you to this pleasure quest to fulfill this something that is missing, or this healing that is needed, or something like that. So when you do NoFap and you go for 10 days, 20 days, 30 days, you relapse, you haven't learned anything about yourself. You haven't learned anything about your psyche, your unconscious, your wounds. You've done nothing to actualize yourself. You're not a better person. It's you feel good when you're doing the NoFap and you're reaching those goal days, arbitrary. Then you relapse and you feel like you haven't made any progress. And you're not another person. You're the same person when you started. You've lost everything. And with all that compassion and love for you, I want to say, look in your heart. There is something that needs fixing. There is something that needs healing. There is something that needs comforting. There is something that needs soothing, understanding. Whatever there is a need that is not fulfilled, this is where the answers are. It's not toughening up into a method that's gonna give you grow yourself new hair and get yourself a girlfriend. Whew. Okay, so I get a bit emotional in this, right? Because I'm really passionate about this, about what I do, and NoFap has some good sides to it, but it's also a lot of damage created in people's minds because of that. And so what am I trying to say here? I'm saying try NoFap. It's fine. It's free. It's intuitive. Just go for it. Also, I want to say there's a beautiful community. All right, beautiful community of men around the world doing NoFap, very supportive. Yay! Try it once and then relapse. You're gonna relapse 1 time, 3 times, 4 times. If you've relapsed more than 5 times, stop NoFap. You don't need to quit pornography at this stage. You need to quit NoFap. You need to find something else, another avenue where you can learn about yourself and learn about other methods and learn about addiction, where you can successfully go on a journey where you're going to learn something about yourself and heal. All right, so try NoFap. Relapse 5 times. Goodbye NoFap. Not for me. No regrets. That's fine. Just try something else. Okay. If you're a follower of NoFap, if you have any opinions on this, don't hesitate to put comments in the video below. I'm sure there's going to be a bit of excitement from this video. That is totally fine. I own what I'm saying, and I'm open for debate. If you're super pro NoFap, let us know. If you're super against NoFap, let us know. If you're unsure, let us know. If you think you're addicted, let us know. If you know you're not addicted but you're still doing NoFap, let us know. All this is good conversation, guys. It's good education. As long as we provide support and love for each other in what we're doing, yeah, it's all we want to see. Take care and goodbye.